All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Definitely. Always love digging into a new topic.
Well, today we're tackling how to talk to anyone.
Oh, yeah, the one with those 92 little tricks for better communication.
That's the one. Now, we won't get to all 92, but
We'll pull out some of the most impactful ones. Right? Yeah,
exactly. Ones you can actually start using, like right away.
love that. So what's first on the agenda?
Well, this one really stood out to me, called the flooding smile.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's so special about this smile?
You know those kind of forced smiles we give all the time? Like, just out of politeness.
Yeah, like the I'm smiling but not really happy to see you smile.
Exactly.
Mm.
This is the total opposite. It's all about, well, imagine someone sees you, pauses for a second, and then,
And then a big, genuine smile just washes over their face.
yes, like it's just for you,
Hmm.
and it makes you feel seen.
I can see how that would be powerful. Like they're really happy you're there.
Right. And the book even has this story about Melissa, who took over her family's box-making company.
A box making company. Okay, I'm listening.
So people thought she was like too cheerful, too bubbly, not serious enough.
Ah, so not the image she wanted to project as a leader.
Yeah, so she started using this flooding smile thing,
Hmm.
holding back a bit, and then letting that genuine smile spread.
And happened.
It totally changed how people saw her. Suddenly, she was seen as sincere, genuine, even powerful.
Wow, that's amazing. Just from changing her smile.
I know, right? So it really shows you, like, even small tweaks can make a huge difference.
Totally agree. It's not just about smiling, it's about being genuine, making that connection.
Exactly. So for our listeners, the takeaway is to be mindful of your smile. Don't just flash it automatically. Let it grow naturally.
Let it flood in. I
No.
love that. All right, what else is in this communication toolkit?
Okay, let's move on to eye contact, but with a twist. The book calls it sticky eyes.
Sticky eyes. That sounds interesting. Lay it on me.
So it's basically about holding eye contact a little longer than usual.
Oh, like even after the other person finishes talking?
Yeah, kind of like, when you pull apart warm taffy.
And it stretches out slowly?
Yes, that's exactly how they describe it in the book. That slow, lingering gaze.
I can see how that might feel a bit intense, though, right?
I thought so too. But then I tried it, and it actually felt really good. Like you're really focused on the other person.
I bet it makes them feel heard and seen.
Absolutely. And there's even research that shows prolonged eye contact can increase feelings of respect and fondness.
Really? That's fascinating.
Yeah. And the book even mentions this salesman, Sammy, who used sticky eyes and saw his sales numbers go way up.
No way. So it actually, like, helped him close deals.
It seems so. People felt like he was really listening to them, that he cared.
Makes sense. When someone holds your gaze, it shows they're present with you, not just waiting for their turn to talk.
Exactly. It's like saying, what you're saying is important to me. So, to our listeners out there, don't be afraid to try sticky eyes.
Yeah, give it a try and see how it affects your conversations. But maybe ease into it, yeah. Don't want to scare anyone off.
Exactly. Okay, ready for another one? This one is all about body language.
Bring it on! Body language is so powerful, but often overlooked.
Totally. So this technique is called the big baby pivot. And it's actually inspired by how babies react when they see someone they love.
Oh, that's adorable. Those little arms reaching out, their whole body turning towards you.
Right. It's that pure, unadulterated excitement. And the idea is to, like, channel that energy when we greet someone.
So, like, really turning towards them, opening up our posture, making eye contact.
Yes, sending that message of, like, I'm so happy to see you.
I love that. It's like giving them a visual hug, even before the actual hug.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And the book contrasts this with how we often close ourselves off, when we're uncomfortable or insecure.
Oh, yeah, crossing our arms, turning away slightly, avoiding eye contact.
Right. And it can make us seem unapproachable even if we don't mean to be.
Definitely. It's like sending a signal of stay away, even subconsciously.
Yeah, and the book even talks about this woman, Carla, at a corporate party. She wanted to network, but
But her body language was screaming, don't talk to me.
pretty much. And it totally backfired. People just didn't approach her.
Wow, that's a good reminder to be mindful of our nonverbal cues.
For sure. So the takeaway here is to consciously open up your body language.
Turn towards people, uncross your arms, make eye contact, show them you're happy they're there.
Exactly. It might feel a little weird at first, but it can make a huge difference in how people perceive you.
Totally agree. These first three techniques are gold. I'm already thinking of ways to apply them.
Me too. They're so simple, but so powerful. What do you think our listeners are taking away from this so far?
I hope they're realizing that small changes can have a big impact on how we connect with others.
And that communication is about so much more than just the words we say. It's about our presence, our energy, our whole being.
Right. It's about being mindful and intentional with our interactions.
Absolutely. So much to think about already, and we've only just scratched the surface of how to talk to anyone.
All right. Ready to uncover more communication gems from How to Talk to Anyone?
Absolutely. I'm all ears.
Uh-huh.
What else does this book have in store for us?
Well, this next one really resonated with me. It's called Watch the Scene Before You Make the Scene.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing, like some sort of spy tactic.
Not exactly, but it does involve a bit of mental strategy. It's about using visualization to prepare for those, potentially nerve-wracking social situations.
Like a big presentation or a networking event.
Exactly. The book uses this analogy of a marathon runner.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that. It was about this guy, Richard, right?
Yes, Richard. He wasn't aiming to win the marathon or anything. He just wanted to finish it. So he visualized himself crossing that finish line, feeling that sense of accomplishment.
And even though he actually ended up with a slower time than the year before,
He still managed to finish the race. And that's the point. Visualization helps build confidence and reduce anxiety.
it's like giving yourself that mental boost before stepping onto the field, so to speak.
Exactly. You're mentally rehearsing for success. So for our listeners out there, before that next big meeting or social gathering, take a few minutes to visualize yourself feeling calm, confident, and engaged.
I love that. It's like giving your mind a sneak peek of what's to come, so it's not so intimidated by the unknown.
Right. It's all about setting yourself up for success. Now let's talk about a fun one. Always wear a what's it.
Always wear a what's it.
Hmm?
Okay, you've got my attention. What in the world is a what's it?
It's anything interesting or unique you wear that can act as a conversation starter. Think of it as a built-in icebreaker.
Oh, I get it. Like a piece of statement jewelry or a cool hat.
Yeah.
Something that sparks curiosity.
Exactly. It could be anything, really, as long as it reflects your personality and invites people to ask about it. In the book, they gave the example of someone wearing a necklace with a tiny globe pendant.
And I bet people just naturally asked about their travels, right?
You got it. It instantly broke the ice and led to some really engaging conversations.
That's brilliant. I never thought of using accessories as conversation starters, but it makes so much sense.
It takes the pressure off, right? Instead of trying to come up with that perfect opening line, you've got this intriguing object to do the work for you.
It's like giving people permission to approach you.
Exactly. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the art of listening. We all know it's important, but this book takes it up a notch with a technique called parroting.
Parroting. Okay, now I'm really curious. Does this involve actual bird noises?
Haha, not quite. It's more about mirroring or echoing a key word or phrase that the other person just said.
Oh, I see. Like to show them that you're really paying attention.
Precisely. It's like a verbal nod, signaling that you're not just hearing them, but actively listening.
I can see how that would make someone feel heard and understood.
Exactly. It subtly validates their thoughts and feelings. The book had this great example where someone was talking about a new restaurant they tried.
Oh, yeah, and instead of just saying something generic like, oh, that sounds nice, the person using parroting said, new restaurant, with a curious tone.
And that simple phrase encouraged the other person to elaborate, to share more about their experience.
Wow, that's so subtle, but so effective.
It really is. And for our listeners, I'd say this. Don't be afraid to try out parroting in your own conversations.
Yeah, but it's probably best to, not go overboard, right? You don't want to just repeat everything someone says word for word.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot just enough to show you're engaged without sounding like a broken record. All right, ready for one more?
Hit me with it.
Okay, this last one is called Encore, and it's all about adding that extra sparkle to group settings.
Encore. Sounds like a grand finale.
It kind of is. It's about asking someone to retell a story or anecdote they've shared before.
Oh, like bringing back a favorite performance for an encore.
Exactly. It puts the spotlight back on that person, makes them feel valued, and gives everyone else a chance to enjoy the story again.
I love that. It's like saying, that story was so good, I want to hear it again.
Exactly. You're acknowledging that their story resonated with you and that you think others would appreciate it too. It's a fantastic way to create that shared experience and build camaraderie within a group. The book actually gives an example of someone talking about their friend's amazing fishing trip. Instead of just saying, oh, wow, that's great, they used Encore and said, hey, John, Tell everyone about that monster fish you caught. I want to hear all the details again.
That's a great example. It instantly shifts the focus to John and his experience, inviting him to be the center of attention.
Right, and it creates a more dynamic and engaging atmosphere for everyone involved.
These 5 techniques are amazing. I'm already thinking of ways to use them in my own life.
Me too. And the beauty of them is that they can be applied in so many different situations, from personal relationships to professional settings.
And what I really appreciate is that they're not about manipulation or trying to trick people into liking you.
Right, it's all about being more present, more engaged, and more genuinely interested in connecting with others.
And ultimately, isn't that what communication is all about? Building those meaningful connections.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And these techniques, they just give us some practical tools to make those connections even stronger.
You know, it's kind of like we've been given this secret decoder ring for, like, human interaction.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
It's not about, like, being fake or manipulative. It's about understanding how communication works.
And using that knowledge to build real, genuine connections.
Exactly. And the best part is, these techniques can be used in so many different areas of life.
Oh, absolutely. From your personal relationships to your career, it all comes down to communication.
You know, as we've been talking, I keep coming back to this idea of authenticity.
That's a good point. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not.
Right. It's about being more present, more engaged, more genuinely interested in the people you're with.
And when you're authentic, people can feel that. It makes you more relatable, more likable.
So what's the big takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the biggest thing is realizing that we can all become better communicators.
It's not like some people are just born with it and others aren't.
Exactly. It's about being aware of your own habits and then making a conscious effort to improve.
And it's a journey, not a destination, right?
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to experiment. Try out these techniques. See what works for you.
You know, I bet if our listeners just picked 1 or 2 of these tips and started using them.
They'd be amazed at the difference it makes.
And for those who want to dive even deeper, we highly recommend checking out How to Talk to Anyone.
It's packed with even more insights and strategies to help you connect with, well, anyone.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive for today.
But the conversation doesn't have to end here.
We'd love to hear from you. What techniques resonated with you? Which ones are you excited to try?
Share your thoughts, your experiences, your aha moments. Because communication is a two-way street, right?
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this journey of communication exploration. And remember, your voice matters, your story matters, and your ability to connect with others is a gift.
So go out there and share it with the world.